Hey guys, what's going on? It's Trainwalk here, and doing a little bit of a different video as you can see. I've been kind of hooked on Diablo 4. Friend got it for me a while ago, and I've been kind of grinding away at it alongside Street Fighter 6. I'm still playing Street Fighter. I have content coming down the pipeline for that game, don't worry. But today, I want to make a video talking about Diablo 4 and my build I'm running. So I'm a Necro main. I always have been in Diablo whenever it was possible. I played Witch Doctor in D3 since it wasn't an option. Um, I am pretty in love with Necromancer in this game. I always play minion builds. I think that, and it seems to be kind of the universal consensus, that minion builds are the best they've ever been and the most entertaining they've ever been to play. I 100% agree with that. I love the way the minion builds work in Diablo 4. So, want to talk about my build. I'm running something a little differently from what most people are doing, and I think that's one of the reasons people like the minion build so much in this game is that it's very flexible. So, as soon as I go put some stuff in my stash here, we're going to go into a nightmare dungeon, and I will talk about what I'm doing. Gotta get all these gems out of here. And, you know what, let's... Okay. So, I'm doing a bit of kind of an off-meta minion build, although I'm using a lot of pieces of typical meta minion builds. One of the ways in which I'm differentiating from a typical minion build is that I use the blood golem instead of the bone or the iron golem. So, why am I using the blood golem? So, I'm using the blood golem with the take 15% of the damage you would take passive on. And I feel like with the way defense got nerfed in the patch for this season, I feel like that is the best option for tanking. I'm also running the Golem Paragon board whenever I get to that. So I'm running a Golem Paragon board with the Blood Golem, and I'm running Shadow Mages and Reapers for obvious reasons. I have +3 mages and +2 warriors. Want more mages than warriors because we're running a shadow damage minion build. So I'm using shadow mages because they now benefit from the shadow blight key passive. So that's kind of the best option. It's not the best option because cold mages are like also pretty viable in comparison. But I just want to show off how this build works out. So I'm starting with no minions up just to kind of show off that even with the defense nerfs and the way the game's currently working right now, that you can even like start from 0 and do pretty well for yourself. I also have the Malignant Heart that auto manages corpses for you. So as you can see, I'm already getting minions up. And as you can see, we're fighting enemies that are like 10 levels above me. And we're going to see as I run this Nightmare Dungeon, it's going to be really easy. I'll almost never be in danger. You just constantly get shadow dots on them, constantly apply slow with the auto corpse tendrils, applying vulnerable. And then just do corpse explosion, and as you can see, we're just shredding, right? We're shredding, and you probably notice my minions are not even getting to half health per encounter. This build has pretty tanky minions. So part of that is because I'm using kind of a tertiary kind of feature of the build. I have Fortify going on. It's why I'm using Decompose. So I have... Let me clear this room first. So I have, in my skill tree, I have all 3 ranks of Necrotic Carapace. So when the quartz is formed from you, your minions fortify for 6% base life. So, in my opinion, Decompose is the best for this because it's a literal continuous DPS stream. And you'll hit the Fortify cap pretty fast. But the thing about this that they don't tell you, and the reason why I'm doing this, is Fortify also applies to your minions. That's also why I'm using the Blood Golem, because whenever you do its active, it absorbs health, it heals itself, and it heals your minions. But as you can see, as long as I'm attacking, they're losing almost no health in combat. Like, they're not suffering from any damage because I'm constantly fortifying them. So we have a way to keep our minions up in meta that right now seems to be kind of anti-minion, and our minions still do tons and tons of damage. And of course, when we eventually get the Wrathful Heart for minion damage, we're going to be doing even more. I also picked Decompose because I really like the array of essence regeneration you get. So when we're having to deal with that draining, constantly draining essence when we get a Wrathful Heart, it's not going to hit us too bad. But as you can see, this is incomplete. I don't have optimal gear. I'm like 10 levels below the content we're currently doing, and like I'm just kind of cruising through the content here. You know, if you deal with something like that, like poison, you might have to heal up your minions, but for the most part, you don't really have to worry about your minions. Of course, I have the heart that auto-manages your corpses too. And I have Ray's skeleton as like the first priority in the order, so that ensures that it's reviving my skeletons ASAP as soon as they go down, if they ever go down. Most of the time, though, that's just not happening. I also really like Decompose for the corpse regeneration. I think it's the best corpse generator of all of our essence builders. And I also think that it synergizes really well when you have the aspect that makes it chain to 2 other targets, which I have going on. Let me see if I can find what piece of gear had that. I think it's this. Yeah, so Decompose can chain up to 2 additional targets. When Decompose spawns a corpse, it has a 50% chance to spawn a corpse under all afflicted targets. So this basically means you're never out of corpses. So in my opinion, this passive makes Decompose your best corpse generator. And like I said, I like the fact it's a constant stream of DPS that you can keep up from far away. You don't have to position yourself. You don't have to worry about doing anything besides holding down the X button when you're in combat. Now, of course, we're not killing things as fast as like a Bone Spear build might or anything, but this build so far has led to like a very easy leveling phase, and it's like the easiest to play of all the builds right now. You know, Bone Spear, you have to worry about optimal positioning for the rebound, and Blood Lance, you have to worry about a lot of positioning and paths overlapping with each other. This build is like pretty like low effort, as you can see. So I'm gonna show you what I'm running here. So 1 rank of Decompose. We get Acolytes Decompose for the extra damage from the minions. We do not need Initiates Decompose. We already have Blight for that. There's no point to have the extra slow going on. We have all 3 ranks of Unliving Energy. We have Imperfectly Balanced. We're good to fix that when this gets fixed, obviously. Corpse Explosion. We're using Blight, Corpse Explosion. Maximum Skeleton Warrior rank. We have 1 rank of Fueled by Death, and 1 rank of Grim Harvest. When I get all my skill points from Renown, this is going to be 3 points. We have all 3 ranks of Amplified Damage. This is because we have the auto Decrepify hard on, so this is always working. We have Decrepify, and we have Abhorrent Decrepify. This is the best one, in my opinion, because you're constantly getting your Golem active and Corpse Tendrils back. There are encounters I have where literally the enemies just don't get to touch me because they're constantly being pulled back in my Corpse Tendrils because I have it up all the time. Maximum Skeleton Mage Mastery. Corpse Tendrils, obviously. We want Plates, Corpse Tendrils for Vulnerable. All 3 ranks in Necrotic Carapace. And then we have Max Golem rank, Max Standalone, and then Max all these. And then we have Shadow Blight. So for Skeletons, I'm running Reapers with the Corpse passive, Corpse Generation passive. Skeletal Mage, Shadow Mages with the 10% chance to stun for 2 seconds, and then Blood Golem with 15% damage absorption. And then for my aspects, we're running the important ones I have right now are 50% Shadow Blight damage for 6 seconds after Shadow Blight key passive damages enemies 10 times. While you have 7 or more minions, your minions gain 15% increased defense damage reduction. Your skeletal warriors are increased by 2. Each time one of your minions damages an enemy, they gain 13% attack speed for 3 seconds up to 39%. That's very important. Your skeletons gain increased damage while alive with the 30% after 10 seconds. That's very important too. Each time the Shadow Blight key passive deals damage to enemies, it increases the next Shadow Blight's damage within 10 seconds by 20%. So both this and this stack like crazy. The effect, the cascading effect between those is nuts. And then we have our Decomposed chain, and then we have our Skeletal Mages +3. I don't know what other aspects I'm going to put on because I kind of have every aspect I need. I do have Grasping Veins, so I forgot to point that out. So I have Grasping Veins, so I only have like 1 or 2 gear slots where I don't know what to do with them. So I just kind of throw on what I have. Like, as you saw, I have a Health Regeneration aspect on 1, and that might just be nice to have. I don't know what I'll do down the line. So as you can see, I mean, I can almost not play the game. Like, I can even go into the middle of these enemies here, just hold down my attack button, and not have to worry. That's also why I really like Decompose, is you're constantly applying the Shadow Blight passive, because it's considered a shadow damage attack. So, and especially when it's chaining up to onto 2 enemies, when Decompose is chaining onto 2 enemies, that's also adding to your Shadow Blight application, so that your hits are tripled to going towards your Shadow Blight passive. So that's another thing about it. It's just really good. So yeah, this is the game I've been playing a lot besides Street Fighter 6. I'm having so much fun with Diablo 4, and I never thought I'd say that about Blizzard game. To be honest with you, I haven't liked Blizzard games since like StarCraft 2. But I'm having so much fun playing this game, and it's definitely the best Diablo since 2. I mean, I definitely am one of those guys that was not a fan of 3. There was a lot about 3 I just didn't care for. This game feels like it does a lot of kind of the best of both worlds, though, 2 and 3, and I really like that. I'm enjoying Season 1 a lot. I really like the heart system. Granted, I'm biased because, like, necromancers were very heavily favored by this season. That's, like, undeniable. Just absolutely undeniable. Necromancers are, like, living high on the hog. They're definitely... I definitely think minion builds are going to be top tier. I know people are still kind of fixated on Bone Spear. Maybe for speedrunning, Bone Spear is good, but, like, I think in terms of, like... I think this build, or minion builds, just, like, in general, any archetype of it, is going to be really good for helping people run content. Like, these are going to be the really good, like, multiplayer builds for helping your friends or whatever. But I like this particular spin of the minion build and doing a lot. It was very easy to get up and running. It took no effort at all. I hit like level 25 and had my golem and everything up and running in like an hour or two. If you do optimal fount farming routes by focusing on like Grim Favors, Tree of Whisper stuff, that's super easy to do. So, anyway, while I finish up this dungeon here, I guess I'll talk a little bit about Street Fighter 6. I'm working on a, like, first impressions of Rashid video. Not gonna spoil anything. I don't know if there's anything to spoil yet anyway, because I think he's kind of interesting, and I think it's gonna take a while for the community to figure out exactly what he does well. So it's going to take a little bit. I'm also going to redo the introduction to my DJ guy because I think it's horrible. It's just a rambling mess. And I understand the character even better, and I've gotten even better at playing him and using certain, like, strong aspects of his kit better than I did before. I have to say, a lot of people were kind of like freaking out about the drive impact or the drive rush input change. I really don't think it's going to turn out to have changed all that much about the game, to tell you the truth, right now. Game more or less feels the same. The only thing that kind of annoys me is that the input change did affect me. In a way that it made it harder for me to pressure somebody after I anti-air with a back medium kick, because what you would do is you would anti-air someone with back medium kick, and then you would parry buffer a drive rush and check with the jab. It like frame traps them out of the restand effect of the anti-air. You can no longer do that, because if you try to do it like you did it before, you'll drive rush right under them, and your button will actually go the wrong way. So you have to kind of fully manually do it now. And I mean, it's not that big of a deal, right? You just learn new muscle memory and execution. But it is a bit annoying that, like, just because that changed, I have to relearn how to do that particular situation, because that's kind of an important situation for DJ. Like being able to consistently check people, because a lot of people, for some reason, they like to flail after back heavy kick anti-airs. I don't know why they do that shit, but yeah. So there is more Street Fighter content coming. I am playing the game still. I just played on Armani Viz's Metro City Monday tonight against Land. Like, I'm playing the game. It's just I got things going on in my personal life that are just like games got kind of take a backseat for the most part. So especially anything like serious and time consuming, but we're doing all right. Look at this. I can legit just like sit here and the game plays itself almost. Look at this. Look at this. That was easy. Lost a lot of my minions that time though for once. Should be easy to get them back though. There we go. So I'm actually curious if anyone watches this, if anyone in my audience has also been playing Diablo 4. I'd like to hear your thoughts about it. And then I'd like to hear your thoughts about what you think about Rashid so far, beyond the Yasser bug, and what you think about the game at this point. I'm thinking about also doing another tier list, updated top 5, bottom 5 video, since I think our perceptions of the game have kind of changed a lot since I made that original video. It'd be kind of interesting to see how people react to my updated idea of who's top 5 and bottom 5 in the game. And I think I'm going to do a video too, talking about changes I think I would like to see to the game. I'm mostly happy with the game and where it's at, but there were just a couple of things that admittedly are just pet peeves for me. It's not like anything serious, like anything that's going to like affect my enjoyment of the game if it stays that way. There are a couple of things I just don't think I like. Like, I'm not a big fan of a meta that's seemingly based around crouching, medium kick, and the drive rush. And I would be curious to see what people think about how I kind of think no one should have that. I think the game would be better for it if you couldn't crouching, medium kick, and the drive rush. And in some matchups, it just feels like it creates such a neutral disparity that feels kind of ridiculous to me. But I would be curious to hear what you guys might think about it. But I know at this point, I'm like not a fan at all in any way right now of that. Another thing I'm gonna make a video about, maybe, that's driving me nuts is I'm about to maybe get exposed here, you know, as a fraud, but I think that Zangief might be the most downplayed character in the game right now. I recognize that he definitely has some problems, but his strengths, like the things he can do to you, are so downplayed by the Zangief players, to the point where I just don't think you can trust a word they say. I do not like the Zangief downplay one fucking bit. I think it's atrocious. But anyway, that's my video. That's my demo / talking about my D4 build. And I'll see you with the Street Fighter 6 video here soon. Catch you guys later.